If you've been here for a little while or if you're brand new, I love tomatoes. Like, I think probably one of the biggest reasons why I want to grow food is to grow amazing, like, tongue invigorating tomatoes. Because if you've only eaten store-bought tomatoes, then you're not being invigorated by tomatoes. So that's a reason why you should grow tomatoes. So with that being said, we are getting completely caught up about completely caught up. We're here at the end of May, and just kind of here in the neighborhood of Memorial Day, and I am starting to pick tomatoes. And well, I want to say that I'm starting to pick them as they change colors, because I don't have them all protected right now, because protection just gets ugly. But then if you want to eat your food, you still have to use some kind of protection. As far as like bird netting or organza bags, that's what I'm talking about. So I've got a great fun update for you. So I'm so pumped for you to see, like, now if you've been on this journey with me since, like, I got everything cleaned up back here until now, this is gonna be super fun for you to see pretty close to my finished product, and what's actually growing right now and getting harvested in my current garden. So let's go check it out, friends. I wish I could have got the grass cut in time to do this little Memorial Day weekend tour with you update. Today's the last day of school. It's May 22nd. I don't know if you remember this little squat of a fig tree that I planted. I don't know, it's probably been 2 years now too, but it's finally kind of getting big, and it's making a lot of figs this year. So in the years past, I've been taking the figs off, but I'm gonna leave these on so we can check these out. I'm gonna have to look it up in my Facebook Messenger with the guy that I got it from to remember what kind of fig it is. So this is my fig, and it's also, it was a little late to start making figs, but it's on the track now. I got this filled up with asparagus a little late, and really the only thing that's coming up, that green there, is some asparagus that I had planted before. This bed has had some, real growth in it since our last update. These are some Crenshaw melons, along with this one right here. This was like supposed to be a 6-pack that I got like 14 plants out of, and I had them all along there, and I don't know if my watering got off track or just the whole ripping of the roots, but this is what I'm left with, and I'm okay with that because it's still a lot, and they're doing really good. These are some Armenians that I planted. Fingers crossed on this loofah, and I've got one here and one here. These are so challenging to get to germinate. And then I've got another round of melons coming up here. I think the first couple right here are, I have to look it up, but I know those are Hale's Best 45, and then these are 2 more Armenian cucumbers. And then I have snacked on a couple of the cherry tomatoes because we haven't had enough to harvest at one time, but this is really still doing super great. So we're excited for that, and they're looking good. They're full of flowers, and they've got lots and lots of tomatoes coming up on them. So here's another view of the melons, and you can see that most of them are getting really close to hitting the trellis, so that's going to be fun. And this is round 1 of some black-eyed peas, or purple hull peas. I guess it just kind of depends on where you're from. So this bed is all about things that love the summer and do well. So anything that I can plant in June and July is gonna go over here. I've got an issue with the birds right now, digging up the sides. So I don't necessarily want to wrap it up in bird stuff. So I'm gonna try just like laying a PVC pipe there for a little bit. I've got a little black Pakistani mulberry going over here that's barely 12 inches tall, so we'll see how that goes. My Concord grape is doing pretty well. I'm gonna fertilize this and my Meyer lemon. I got this blacked out to, get all the grass and the weeds suppressed, and I borrowed this trellis and took it over here to the new bed. The tomatoes under this tree, I've already picked like 5. Here's a picture right here. And I picked them just as they were blushing because I don't have these covered up yet, and so I wanted to get them before the birds. Now I remember the Champions being a bigger, kind of not super slicer, like a Cherokee Purple, but more of a slicer. I could be wrong. There's a couple of bigger ones there, but I really think that this gets a lot of shade. And so my goal ultimately is to get what I can get from them, and then maybe a couple will survive so we can have some overwinter tomatoes and see what happens. Look at this mint going crazy. This is called a mojito mint, and now that the girls are out of school, all I have to do is remind them that this is out here, and they'll be making some tasty drinks with that. And a little update on our oregano, and I just emptied my jar completely last week, but this honey is going off. A couple of different branches going there off the main ones that I cut, so I'm probably going to let this get, maybe another half foot tall, and then I'm going to start harvesting some leaves so I can get them dried out and slowly start building up my oregano inventory. We've got more than one trellis over here, and if you looky good in the background, you'll see that I got my new fence up, and so I'm so happy with how much better that looks. It's so crazy looking at it from the front, and this bed is really going off. And my number one goal for this bed was to not let the tomatoes take over, and you can see that the tomatoes are kind of bound and determined to take over. This is some Mizuna that was from the original planting video where I planted out those 12 by 12 squares of of lettuces. I've cut this completely back, and it just really doesn't care. It just wants to keep going. So I just fertilized with not necessarily fish emulsion, but something that's just about on that level. So that's what the kind of brown stuff is on the leaves. So I'll get a lot of that rinsed off tomorrow. So I got beans going. That's what those big broader leaves down there are. I got beans going crazy. These are my lima or my butter beans. I got watermelon up here that's really starting to finally go off. This is a couple of radish I'm letting go to seed, and we've got a couple of cantaloupe back there. Not easy to see for the tomatoes, but I've really been snipping branches and, as you see, tying things up on the trellises to keep the tomatoes off of the beans. But you can see that I'm getting some beans. We just got to be patient and let them fill in. But if I show you the back of this, man, you can see that I'm going to be in tomato heaven. So I'm just going to look at this big gob in there. Now, I've had a little bit of burr go on with these pink Berkeley tie-dye, and I know what that is because like we have a tendency as new gardeners to really flip out over burr, but what it is the temperature fluctuated. You know, it'd be really warm and then it would cool off. So my watering was really fluctuating. So if things are fluctuating and being kind of off when those flowers are developing and that fruit is first getting pollinated, that's really where the burr is going to happen. I pulled this one just now just because I just tied up the branch it was on, and so its bottom was going to be facing up, so I'm going to take it in to turn red on the windowsill. So there is an update, and you can see over there looks just kind of messy, but that's sugarcane already coming up. So this little bed is just doing so sweet. Fun little chamomile going. So now that I know that this chamomile is seeded in here really good and it's going to seed again, I'm really going to keep up with keeping this wet in the winter months so that it can come out. And I'm letting this lettuce, this romaine, go to seed so that it will drop seed all in here. So this is kind of a bed that will just make chamomile and lettuces you know, year round for us, or anytime it's not so hot. Here is a freshly mowed, just like quick view of everything. I think that when it's mowed, it just really looks cool. It really gives me a lot of satisfaction for the work that I put in over these last couple of months. So you've already seen up close of all the beds. So like I said, this is just like a little what it looks like when it's all cleaned up and nicely cut and making me have happy vibes.